This was not what I expected at all. I'll tell you that. Ska vi säga någonting?
Se vad det står.
Void if damage. Ska vi säga, today we're testing the DJI Romo.
Poop!
Okej, då tittar vi i kameran. Today we're testing...
Wow, I'm more.
Nästan.
DJI Romo. DJI Romo.
Yeah! Kom igen! Yeah! Smells very nice. Kom igen! Woo! Yeah! Oh! Take a look at all those components right there. We got the mops, spinning, main brush, wheels, side brushes. Actually very nice to have two of them. Camera, LiDAR, sensors here in the back as well. Dust bin. Okay. Seeing all the components here is definitely something that I think is incredibly cool. I'm not entirely sure about the design though. I would have loved to have it a little bit more squarish. But man, this looks sick. We even got a perforated muffler. Let's see if we can set this up. Now I know what the bottles were for. They are deodorizer and floor cleaning solution. Bluetooth pairing successful. Simple. I always appreciate how easy it is to use DJI products. So we're gonna do this a little bit differently. We are going to build an obstacle course. This is gonna be the perfect place to start the test. Let's set it up, shall we? We also need round. Oh, bra! Lite. Oh, stop! Snyggt! Gravel test. Alright, that looks dirty as shit. Oh, spillde lite till där borta. Oh, no! I'm just gonna swipe this up, but we're gonna let this dry. So I'm just gonna smear out the ketchup a little bit so that it's not too thick. Okay, so we got some dried soda, dried coffee, dried up ketchup, and half dried up ketchup. The settings that we're going to use is going to be suction powered max. We are going to choose total tasks 1 and rote 5. And we're also going to use the degreasing remop with water. Done.
Start cleaning.
What? These kind of gravel pieces are standard in Swedish homes. Whenever you walk from your car or anything else that is going to be in the hallway. I welcome you to take a snack.
Roller brush stuck. Clear object.
Let's see what happened here. That's a piece of gravel in there.
Continue cleaning. Roller brush stuck.
Gravel doesn't seem to be liked by this. Push them back for the sake of things. Oh!
Roller brush stuck.
Again. I think it's stuck in there. Yeah, there we go. There we have it. That's the piece. I gotta say that did a pretty decent job of clearing up all the gravel eventually. We got a couple of main brush jams, but nothing serious. But somehow it's leaving these dust marks behind with these really fine-grained dust pieces. Somehow it doesn't suck this up, which I think is kind of weird because this is probably going to be the thing that is mostly in everyone's hallway. Why are you not sucking up all the dust space? am actually kind of impressed that it managed to clean it out. But it didn't manage to do it all in one time because I actually had to run it 8 times. So I don't have any pets myself, but I know that there's a lot of people that does. And one of the biggest complaints that I've heard is that turds might be dragged around. And that is where the chocolate pudding comes into play.
Oh. My poop.
Okay. I'm thinking that, like I said, everything is standard, and then we're just gonna make sure that we have the obstacle avoidance set to smart. Liquid detection, bypass. We're ready? No, 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 no! Nate. Oh! No! Nate! So I managed to detect all 4 turds, but it also managed to swerve into 2 of them. I'm saying, like, if this was real poop, see that? We got some poop in there. There would be poop everywhere. As you can see, there was a couple of poop stains here and there. This entire brush was kind of poopish, and then here. It's all chocolate pudding though, but still feels a little bit disgusting. I just want to show you how genius the mop removal is. They are attached with magnets. So you can remove this entire piece and it just pops in there, super simple. I thought that this was going to be more complicated, but this is a very simple solution that I really like. And whenever you need to remove the mop, just take this off, put it in the washer, and then put it back. There's some nice fine-grained Velcro on it. So using thermal camera, you can actually see that the Romo is heating up the pads in the back. So it's drying the actual mops. And right now, the top of the robot is at around 37 degrees Celsius. How does it put up with toddler life in a real house? So we're gonna start with mapping out the entire floor plan. This is what it usually looks like on a daily basis. So let's go. So it actually managed to detect almost all the Lego that was down there and didn't actually drive through any of them. And it mapped up all our rooms, or almost, except for the ones that were blocked, and named them, which is sick. So I'm thinking that we're gonna use a couple of things that might get spilled on the floor in a kitchen. Huh? Snyggt! Oj, 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 oj. Some cool things.
Still off below.
It ran 3 times, and I also set it to crosshatch. And this is what we're left with. A lot of small specks of dust. So I'm gonna send out the Robo Rock and see how that performs when it comes to picking these up. So the Romo has been here. Let's see what happens when the Robo Rock goes over. You see how clean that turned out to be? What? That's insane. It picked up almost all the dust. The only thing that you can see left here on the floor is flour. So this is one pass of the Roborock. Dude, it is so clean. Nothing. I'm a little bit shocked actually, because I thought that the Romo was supposed to have better suction and to be better in general when it comes to vacuuming, but I'll be damned. But let's see if it manages to mop up the flower spots that we got left. You can kind of see them right there. All right, so it's done mopping, and I can say that mopping wise, it is way better than the Roborock that we've had. It actually cleans up all the areas that has been contaminated. And I really like that they're rotating as well, because that really goes on the deep clean. But I don't really feel that the suction power is matched with the Roborock. There might just be a difference in the way that the brushes work, but we're gonna take a look and see how it looks in the compartment here. This has not been emptied in full. It's still very full. Or there's still a lot of debris in there and in there. The big stuff, I guess. So that might be one of the reasons why the suction was off. We definitely need to make some further testing, because I'm not entirely sure if the filter was the culprit or if the Roborock is actually better when it comes to suction. Some basmati rice and a little bit of coffee. And the first one out is gonna be the Roborock. This is a result of the Roborock. We still have a little bit of coffee, grain, and rice that is left on the floor. Let's do a proper cleanup and then send out the Romo. I don't really know how well you can see it, but we have these lines of coffee grain, basically the same kind of lines that we had with gravel. And that was something that we did not get with the Roborock. And I honestly have to say that there's more dirt left on the floor with the Romo than what it is with the Roborock. This entire video turned out to include way more extensive testing than I thought I would have. So the next thing that I want to know is which one of these robots that are the best at climbing thresholds. This right here is 1.5 centimeters. Should be pretty standard in older houses to have something similar to this. No issues going down. Ha! Let's see how the Roborock performs. Got it this time. Almost. There you go. Come on. Oh, so close. There you go. I knew you had it in you. So I'm going to call that a tie, because both robots seem to have some big issues getting up the threshold at times, not every time.
To recognize base station.
But I've been using the Roborock for more than 1.5 years, and it has been managing this threshold almost every single day without issues. Let's see if the boat can drive on carpets. No.
Roller brush stuck.
Nothing is stuck. So this makes me think it's very interesting. We've had these carpets for a little more than 1.5 years, and the robot swiped through them without issues.
Roller brush stuck. Clear object.
Okay, that's the second time. You know what? Let's send out the Roborock to this specific room and see what happens. Plows through without any issues. Let's put the Romo in there again. See?
Roller brush stuck. Clear object.
This is the
Then
third
press start button
time.
to continue.
The Romo cannot handle these kind of carpets. The Roborock, on the other hand, has no issues with it. This was not what I expected at all. Studio looks like shit, but I think that this concludes the initial testing that I want to do with the Romo. And boy, do I have some thoughts. So I've been using DJI products for the last 8 years at this point. I think I've tried pretty much all the different segments that they have to offer, and almost all the time they deliver an incredible user experience combined with high quality product. And that's also why I had so incredibly high expectations of the Romo that I do feel a little bit disappointed. Especially since it's the latest kind of robo vacuum to drop on the market. And you gotta understand me right here, because it's not a bad robo vacuum per se, it's more so that it didn't really live up to the expectations that I had. Because I've been using the Roborock S8 Pro Ultra as our robo vacuum for the last 1.5 years, and it has performed so freaking well. It has been one of the absolute best smart home gadgets that I've ever owned. Even my fiance agrees on that. And the biggest downside with it has been the mop. And that is something that the Romo is doing exceptionally well. But mopping is more of a secondary thing in robot because the main function of it is to vacuum. And since the Roborock is over 2 years old at this point, I thought to myself that this would be leaps and bounds better than what that is, because technology evolves in such a rapid pace that the newer generation of robo vacuums should be leaps and bounds better than the older generations. But I did find the Romo to be underwhelming. When it comes to the actual mapping of the house, it did a great freaking job and identified all the Legos and tiny bits and pieces that was laying around. But eventually I actually had to turn off the smart obstacle avoidance because the fringes on our mats was recognized as threats so that I couldn't actually drive over them, and I had to cancel the entire cleaning program to get it to run over them again. It didn't have any issues being on the actual mat, but since it can't do with the fringes, it kind of just stopped. And if it wasn't for the price, I think I'd be a little bit less disappointed. But it comes in at approximately $2,000, including taxes here in Sweden, which is $900 more than what I paid for the Roborock S8 Pro Ultra when we bought that almost 2 years ago. And a couple of things that I really like with the Roborock is the possibility to not only have a 2D map, but also a 3D map. And you can also change the direction and floor type that you have. So say, for example, in the bathroom, you have tiles, you can set that, but you can also have wooden boards and the alignment of it, which means that the robot is going to clean along the alignment of the actual boards. And you can also set custom names for the different rooms in your house. All of those things are still lacking in the DJI Home app. Knowing DJI though, I think they'll definitely solve all these issues with a future firmware release. But releasing a product that is more expensive than the competition, but basically performs the same, makes me a little bit sad. But with that said, it does have a couple of strengths that I really like, and one of them being the actual user interface. I think that this product is very important for DJI, so they will probably push out firmware updates to this Robo Vacuum for a very long time. And when they actually release the next generation, all of these child sicknesses that we can see are probably going to be gone. But it's actually very cool to test out a first gen product like this and see how it performs in a real life scenario and during a stress test. I will try to have it as a daily driver at home and see how it actually performs over a longer period of time so that I can make a follow-up video to this video with my final conclusions. But I would love to know, what do you think about this video? Did you find it enjoyful? Did you find it enjoyful? If so, make sure you give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe as well, because that would be highly appreciated. Peter from Sweden is saying goodbye.